I got it. And it looks like we're recording. Okay, hello everybody. It's most of y'all know we've been talking about stuff like that, and some of y'all asked about the Texarkana show. Went very well. They're very inquisitive up there in Texarkana, Arkansas, and Texas. We actually ran across a guy who was a judge who's wanting to get possibly a courthouse done up there, and so we're looking at that. But we had a great show, great customers. The people up there really excited about solar up there. I want to give you an update on that. I've actually got 2 proposals to put in tonight that I haven't had a chance to do since we've been back. What I wanted to share with you is most of you have probably already put in some proposals, and let me get rid of this screen. I always forget where to move it. Okay, I want to go to this right there. All right. Now, let me move this out of the way. Okay. When you go in and you type in the customer's name or address, then of course you have to verify it. What happens next is you'll have the site come up, you verify the thing, and then there'll be a screen that come up, and we ran across this when I was at Texarkana that Saturday morning. I did not realize it, but what you do is you turn around and all you have to do is skip. You don't want to share the profile on that skip, and then it goes to the next step. And I hope I'm going slow enough. Just go to the next step and move forward. It will then give you a rough proposal of some information. And let me go to my console here. Well, there we go. I'm glad I'm not the only one that says it's unstable. Rob has it open on his too. Okay. Now, what I want to do is I want to go down here to this house right here for Longview. Now, this is what happens after you input the information. You don't have to put the customer name and all that stuff in there. You can just input the information and automatically it's going to go in. It's going to set it up in a console for you. What the important thing that I wanted to get to with everybody, and any of you out there that you're running across this, is one of the ladies I was telling you about when I was trying to help the other day is she was having problems. Let me show you. She was having problems seeing, scroll, bear with me everybody. She was having problems seeing these banners right here. Okay. And we couldn't figure out what it was. I finally got with tech support, and that's where Jen over at Tech helped out a lot. But she said down at the bottom there's an orange button down in here. I believe in the right hand corner is what she said, and you can click on it and unlock the page, and then these will then show up right here. And that's what I wanted to point out. Okay. Now, as you can see, this system, I've already gone through and adjusted it. And I don't want to do a whole bunch of scrolling, so I'm going to go back to the top and slowly start down to help everybody with this. Originally, it came up 103, 109% on this. And what I have is I've adjusted it to get to a 10.08 kilowatt system and zero down. That costs $26,000. Okay, and that's the first 2 steps. And I was actually talking to the lady the other day, and what I'm going to do to help everybody out is I'm going to take snippets of each step. I will put in a customer tonight, and I will take a snippet of each step to be able to help everybody to walk through this system, one JPEG at a time. You'll be able to look at it and go through. I'll probably put it in a Word document, but there'll be actual pictures for y'all to see. Okay. So there's not a whole bunch of scrolling and stuff like that. The system originally came out at 50 panels, and this is where we talked about last week, where we were having the issue on our end in the East Texas area is that it was locked in at $11,327 for a down payment, and it was 50 panels, $181 a month, and a 14K system. What I've learned to deal with this is the first thing is, if you've got a really crazy, like a down payment or something, and I'm scrolling slow enough, and I wanted to show you what I came across, and then I'll go back up very slowly, because some people said they were moving too fast the other day and stuff, but I wanted to show you this. We clicked on incentives, and this is where we ran into the original problem we had. Automatically, with any customer we were putting in, this AEP SWEPCO Smart Source PV program was checked. Well, what that was doing, everybody, is it was showing us up here, it was showing $11,327 down. And that shouldn't be right. As soon as we unchecked this AEP SWEPCO, this right here came down to 0. Okay, and I wanted to show you that. You need to become familiar in your area, because I don't know all of them, but you need to become familiar with your area. Like the lady in Massachusetts, there was SREX, which is right, but you need to become familiar with the utility that you're dealing with at that time, so you can come in here and look and see if there's anything there. Now, co-service solar energy rebate, it wasn't checked, so we know we were good there. But they had this because we had AEP SWEPCO as the utility here, but we do not get this credit. So you have to do a little bit of schooling on your end to understand where you're going. Okay, now I'm going to scroll back to the top and start up in here. It says first thing is how you're going to save and stuff like that. But after I unchecked the incentive and got us to 0 down, we still had a 14 kW system. We had 50 panels, and what we did next is the next step is this. I checked on the energy. All right, if you need to change the panels and stuff, this is where you're going to do it. This is where you're going to be able to change the amount of panels. Some are coming up 40 panels, some are coming up this. This is where it's really helpful to have the utility bill, because you'll be able to walk through it, or if you need help from me, you can email me the bill. I can look through it on my end and then help walk you through on your end where you need to be, what the actual kilowatt usage and stuff is. And this is what I wanted to show you. Okay, it's 36 panels. Now, this one right here, we estimate a maximum of 29 panels will fit in the most sunlit areas. It doesn't mean that they've got an amount of panels right here, everybody, where it says I have 36 solar panels. It doesn't mean they can't put those 36 panels there. It just means that out of the 36 panels, 29 of them are going to be in the best lit area. The other ones are still going to get sunshine, but it's not going to be as much like maybe say the east or west side, where the 29, they all fit on the south side, okay? Now, the next step is you go down, and it's the Canadian Solar Black on White panels, has 280 watts of power. Some people don't want them. Some people want American made. The American made ones are sun modules, I believe, and I think they range from 275, I think, up to 315, if I remember right. Those there might have to be changed by the GEO Stellar pros when it comes to that, because I did not see them pop up on here, but that's something that you go, right now, this is just basic, which you can get them a proposal, send it to them, and let them see and move forward from there. But the best thing is, honestly, if you can get a utility bill, let's get it, okay? Now, on this one here, you notice that we had them at 88% of his power usage. Okay, I've factored in, I've gone down and put in the pure power box, which they base on should be at least 8% to maybe up to 16% more efficient for the home. So right now with 88%, if we get 8 out of it, it'll go to 96. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show y'all on the panels. I'm going to increase them up. Yeah, 2 panels. That's what I wanted to do. And I want to show you what happens right here. And this is something if you get a customer in, you can play around. It's an actual customer. You can get in and play around. You don't have to save it yet, but this is something you can at least get in there to do. Let me see somebody's in the chat. All right, now here whoops, I did 39. Let me back it down one panel, folks. Okay, 38, because at 39 we had them at 95%. And I want to get it down a little lower to try and compensate for the pure power box and go from that level. And give it a minute. What's happening is with the arithmogram and the software is it's recalculating and changing everything, the financing, all that. So give it a minute and it'll change. Now, if you're in here, what I wanted to point out, say you want to drop it, say you had 50 pounds, like, oh, I know they don't need that many, and look at the bill. If you're going to change it, if you just click once, you're going to have to wait. The system will readjust, and then you click. If you want to say, okay, I don't need 50 pounds, I want to get them back down to 35 or something like that, you can click this minus button and hold it, and it'll drop down and get you close enough, and then you might stop right on it. If not, then you can bump it up or down wherever you need to go. All right. Now, it's showing them at 93% with the pure power box at figuring in a minimum of about 8%. That would put these people at 101% of their electrical usage. Okay. Now, another factor that's very important to have the electric bill is I know the size of this house that I'm dealing with, and it shows the kilowatt hour in an average month. This is pretty darn close for the size of this house, but if you need to, you can adjust it here. But what you also want to do is right now, their average bill, 177, it's actually probably a little higher than this, being the size of the house. So you can adjust this up or down, and then what will happen is you can watch this bill right here, where it says you pay 177. If their bill is actually $200, which this house probably is, let's go ahead and minus this down and take a look at it and see what happens. And I clicked it once, and then see what it drops it down to. Okay, it went down, so I want it to go up. So I'm going to wait for the thing to reset, and then I'll click the plus button to bring it up. It's actually, this place here is probably actually going to be about 1,600. And that's what I'm going to adjust with. I'm going to get 16. I might have to click it one more time. But what you can then do is after you change the kilowatt hour, you see this is where having the bill in your hands crucial for you, because then you'll see it. It'll show on the bill, the kilowatt usage hour for a month. Okay, see how down here, folks, it changed it to $190. So looking back at the 1,600 is going to be pretty much right on the nose for 200. Yeah, and it just adjusted it back to that. I'm going to click it one more time. I'm going to go to the 16, and they base it on the kilowatt hour usage. Their software has figured this in. I don't know all the technical aspects at this point right here for the average month, but I just click it to see where it's going to get me. Okay, see, it gets me to $194 average monthly thing. That I'm happy with, and I'm going to sit with. I'm not going to go any farther. Now, you can come back up here, and you see they're 85% of their usage. They dropped it back down with from the 38 panels into this one right here. So what we can do is we can add one more panel on here, and then we'll see how this changes this area right here. And I hope I'm not going too fast. I'm trying to go slow, and if everybody understand what we're trying to accomplish with walking through this information right here. And let it adjust itself. We did okay. We're at 87% with roughly an 8% for the pure power box. All right. So I wanted to make sure you see that. So the 8% will put us at 95%. That's enough to go with this and start and go from this. All right. Now, I'm going to scroll up, but I'll come back down. I want to scroll back up and show y'all. Right now, their average bill roughly is showing it's $197. It's showing $240. So they're looking at an extra $40 a month. But one reason this is higher is because of this right here, folks, the 12-year loan versus the 20-year loan. When we were with Dividend, when we had them, the 20-year loan, even with a little higher interest rate, gave a lower payment. The 12-year loan, they're going to pay a little more. Doesn't mean they have to, but this is just a way for you that you can show them that in 12 years versus 20, they can pay it off if they can afford it. If not, we can always reduce the panels. And this is where you're just trying to get them an idea. And they say, well, golly, I'm spending $40 more. It may not be that across the country. If you have incentives in your area, like they do over in our Dallas area, in Austin and San Antonio, this would be below that. We just happen to be in higher area. Now, I know some of you are running into this across the nation in certain areas with your bills and stuff like that. And this is where you have to learn, get your bills, learn a little bit about your utility companies to deal with it on your local levels. With where I'm at, I know everything about what's going on here. Such as the lady up in Massachusetts I was helping the other day. I did not know too much about that area, and that's why I asked her, is this the right utility company? Is this it? And this year, and so that's something you need to do a little bit of schooling on yourself to learn your local areas, get your bill. If you have another, like we have Upshur Rural and a couple other co-ops around here, what you might want to do is ask a friend, hey, could I get a copy of your bill? So I'm just trying to learn some of this software and this business I'm in and stuff like that. And you never know. They might end up saying, hey, do one on my house. Let me see. And you might end up getting a sale from it. All right. Now let me scroll down because I'm gonna leave that 200 in there because $40 more if someone's the size of the house, they probably have no problems. And actually their utility bill in the summer is probably running about 500. Winter it might be running 200 in this area.
Hey, Lane.
Yes.
Hey, I was just gonna let you know, last night I ran across it by accident. They had one listed other than Canadian. They had another brand that was actually cheaper than the Canadian.
Yeah, I know. And that's what I'm saying. You can go in here and hit up or down to change the panels. Actually, since Jeremy mentioned that, I'll click on this and we'll see what comes up.
There's about 10 different choices.
Yeah. Right. Well, the reason I brought that up was because last night I actually hit it by accident. And when I went to change it, I'm like, oh, man, wait a minute, that one's cheaper. So, and it may simply be in the location of the installers in that area. They may use that particular type of solar panel, and it may actually be cheaper. I think I hit like to the right twice, and I found one that was like, instead of minus 600 or whatever, it was like 1,400 cheaper, and it was like 295 watt.
Well, you can see I hit the back button, everybody, and it went from Canadian Solar to LG black on white, 320 watts of power, but it increased it by $4,992. So we didn't want to go that way.
Hit one more to the right and see what popped up, because that's where I ran across it.
No, I went to the left. I'm going to the right, two spots. Then I think it can go lower and then it increases to the right.
Well, it was all different on mine. So, but I mean, that's the thing. Y'all look through, see what's available, because this is where you can actually might be able to help your customer get something a little cheaper. Because I think I'd hit right like twice and ran across one. I'm like, so like right now, the Canadian Solar black on white is minus 982.80. I mean, a lot of these people, and like Lane said, you're going to run across some that want American made. And, okay, we don't blame them. If that's what they want, that's what we can get. We have a list of what's available. But see right there, what was the one you had right before that, Lane?
Yeah, so
expensive.
Yeah, well, see, it's only producing 120 watts of power, too. But, see, that's the thing. This is where y'all can go through and look at these things. Just take a few minutes, look at it. you may find a means to turn around and knock 500. You know,
but it's in 295 watts versus 280.
yeah, that one's 295 instead of 280.
Right.
But everything we can do to try to drop the cost, because a lot of people really aren't going to care what brand it is if it's doing the job.
Yeah.
You know,
there's certain people that will want American. There's certain people who know what they want. So, and then
exactly.
there's some that really don't care as long as they get the solar on the place. Now,
but the one thing the one thing I noticed, like Lane, right here where you like got that one, the 295 watts of power. If y'all will notice, the wattage off the setting is changed because your wattage is different. So if y'all change that to get a better price, like if you go to 295, you may not need as many panels. So,
well,
you know,
because it increased it up from the 88 or 87, I think it was, to 92%. But,
right.
Let me bring it up. But see, the price goes up $16 per month.
See, and that's what I was getting at. They need to look around, see. The whole ultimate goal is to make it the best value for your customer, but yet at the same time meeting what they're after.
And I'm backing this back down, folks, to the 280, and then I'll scroll down to the next area. Let me get this set back to where I need it to get. Okay, we don't want that one. 120 watts. That's a small panel.
And it's more expensive.
And it's $1,872 difference. Okay, and there's the 360 ESOs. It's $5,616 extra dollars. And as Jeremy mentioned, as I mentioned, this is something that you can play with. Normally, I'll leave what comes up first right there, just to learn the aspects of it, and let me change, and then we'll scroll down to the next level. There we go. Canadian Solar Black on Whites 280s, and now I'm going to come down here, and I notice some people are chatting here with me. Let me get through this. Okay. Now, their average bills are roughly $194, so they're roughly looking about $36 extra with this plan right now. But that's something we can play with the financing and stuff later. All right. Now, I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to click on the extras. All right. On the extras, roof height and slope, that's something that we can deal with later. You don't really have to worry about this right now. And I'm just going to slowly scroll down here, the array, how many arrays and stuff. But one thing I have done, and you'll need to do this, so they don't have it automatic yet, and I'm not sure if they're going to, but you need to click on the pure power box. And I've already got it checked, as you see right here, to have that added into the thing. Right now, they're looking at total cost of $41,620. Okay. Now, let me scroll down right here. I'll click on financing. And this is where you can change the financing, but I'll show you something in a minute, to where you can save what's on here right now. And that'll be over here to the right. But I just wanted to walk down, and I'll go ahead and click on this to show you. Right now I've got it for 12 years at 2.99. Now, factoring in their credit, there's all kinds of things dealing with the financing. I don't know all aspects of the financing. I'm not a banker. I'm not a finance person. I just mess with these again. Okay, 12.99, and then maybe you can give them a 20-year one to let them see what happens. Right now, we've got it at 12 years, 2.99. We saw the payment up there. This is one that we could be able to save, and then we could come back in and change this. Now, as I mentioned earlier, you already know about the incentives that I showed you down here, to check on your incentives right off the start to make sure that all this is in the right realm before you start messing with the panels, before you start messing with the kilowatt hours, before you start messing with any of that. Come down, learn your area, open up the incentives. By hitting that little button there, it closes it back up. Just hit it like this, and it will open it up for you. Go down and check your incentives. Of course, the federal ITC, 30%. And so I stated ours was checked when we first started. I unchecked that. We don't get in this area. learn a little bit about what's possibly in your area. And I have a database up here that I'm going to show y'all when I get done with this, and you can get the link right there. I'll copy it and I'll post it over in the chat so you can copy it and stuff like that. Okay, so right now, total system cost with rebates, they're looking at $29,134. Okay, this is what's going to be financed through the 2.99 for 12 years. And I have 12 years on my place, and let me tell you, the payments are higher, not higher than my electric bill, but they're going to be right up there with it after the first year. But I could have gone with the 20, but I decided to stay. I'm used to paying a certain amount for my electric bill. The panels will be cheaper than what my electric bill was, but I decided to go that route. A homeowner may not want to. They may want to try and get the lowest they can. You may put in the 20 years, and it may still be higher than what they're getting right now. Excuse me. That has to do with the pricing in the area. I don't know all the factors that's going through with GEO Stellar and them and their pricing and that. And I'm not sure how it's being figured out. Like Jeremy had mentioned, we're not sure if it's the installers and their pricing in that area, your area, or if they're thinking that the incentives, maybe like in my area, it's coming up a little more expensive, but maybe they're thinking with right here, this incentive, it's a little higher. But if we can get in and adjust it, and I've emailed the tech people, so look, we don't get this incentive, but the pricing for the watts for the system is higher than in some areas, and we don't get this incentive. So maybe GEO Stellar can adjust the pricing for an area that doesn't have the incentives. That's something that we need to be proactive to and reach out to the tech people. And what you want to do is let me show you everybody, you want to click this button right here to the right. And you can type in here information. Of course, you see Alex and some of them there. You can send the information right here, and they'll get right back to you. They're really great over there about getting back to you with information. You can type it in and say, hey, I've noticed that, we don't get this incentives here. Will this be reflected in the price? Could the price be lowered or something? And it's something that they may do. They may take a look at it. But if they don't know there's an issue on the thing, like they didn't know about our area with the incentive, but I've sent it in, and now they're aware of the situation. And hopefully it will get in here and get changed. But you can just type the information and you just click on that button and you can just type it in right here, and it will go to Alex and the technical people on that aspect. Dealing with the financing and stuff, you can probably leave some information there too, and they'll get back to you. Okay. Now the last step, the last banner that's showing up is savings. You can click on it. The 30-year savings on their electric bill is $43,535 over 30 years. Okay, roughly, what is that, about $8,000? And numbers aren't working quite well for me right now, and I'm not going to bring a calculator up. But they're saving 45% on their bill. And in our area, we just got a postcard last Thursday that our local utility has put in to increase the rates here. The last one they did in 2010, it went up 23%. I don't know what this one's going to be, but they put in for it. So that's something to be aware of in your areas too. If stuff's going to be going up. If it goes up, our pricing is going to be a lot more affordable, because if they're going up, and the last time it jumped up, I think 3 or 4 cents or something like that, that's going to put us at, oh yeah, and that's what I want to show you. So let me scroll back up here real slow so everybody can keep an eye on it. Another thing that you can do, and it's going to be up here with the energy, and I'll take my time to get up here. What we can do is right here. This was showing up in our area, and this is something else you can take a look at. Everybody get your bills out tonight. When you're off of this webinar tonight, get your bills out. Look at your bills, your personal bills, whether you're in an apartment, whether you're in a home. I don't care where you're at. Our bills, and I showed some last week, but our bill, a buddy of mine, his utility usage, his energy usage, what he used energy-wise was $107. That's what he used for energy for the month. His actual bill was $234. Okay, so we started looking at the bill I showed him. Just below the energy usage, there was, I forget, like a meter usage. It was $8. The one right below that was a 3-cent fuel charge. Okay, so we started going down through all of these. A transmission fee charge, a franchise fee. They're charging $2.38 for the franchise fee. The company down here was bought out by AEP, and for some reason they're charging a franchise fee for them buying them out on every bill, and it's based on the. So take your bills tonight, sit down and look at them. Now the 7 cents, right? The reason I bring that up, the 7 cents that was showing up here, 0.0759, is what was showing up here. That was wrong. I have my bill. I know it's 12 cents. All them other fees were included in this. So it goes from the 7 cents adding up, and it might even be higher towards the 13 cents realm. But the energy usage at the 0.079759 plus the 3 cents on the fuel charge, 0.3, almost 4 cents, brought this up to 11 point something. So it actually works out to 12 cents, 12 point something. I forwarded this information to Alex and them in the technical area to let them know it may be different with you. Some of the fees, they're going by the average. I checked the state averages. There's a web page that shows the average for the state. Ours actually shows 8 cents, but it's not including all the fees and everything like that that bumps your bill up. Okay, so that's why I'm saying you can keep an eye on this. You can change this if you're going to change it. Like I mentioned earlier, if you click on it once, you're going to have to sit and wait. If you know in your area, I knew ours is 12 cents. I learned by clicking. I'm like, okay, I thought you just you can click the plus button and hold it to get to your area, and then you can stop. And if you land right on, it's fine. If you go above it or below it, then you can wait for the system to update. Then you can click this button again and move on from there. Okay, now that I've gone through all that, I'm going to go ahead and scroll up here, folks. And right here, I haven't even put in the crew promo. So let me put that in real quick. Just type in crew and click apply. And this is to the far right. And I'll scroll up to the top, and then I'll come back down through it again real slow to go through this steps. And normally, if I wasn't doing the Zoom meeting right now, it would already put it in, so you just have to sit and wait. Because what will happen is the crew banner will come up right here and says your crew promo code that has been applied to it. There you go. See, your crew promo code has been applied. Okay, and there's the crew logo. Now look what it's done with the crew promo in there. It's dropped it down to $231 instead of $240 stuff. But let me scroll back down real slow, folks, and I'll show you this is underneath the incentives. And I'll scroll back down here, and won't take any time for somebody said sometimes they scroll too fast. Okay, and this is what you're looking at. They're getting a crew promo reduction of $1,092 off their system. Okay. Now you can do that right at the start. You can go down to that step and type in the crew promo right away after you've adjusted, done the Pure Power Box, added it in to start before you do anything. Put the crew promo code in, because then you know that that's already in there and it's reducing it down. So when you get with the numbers, you're actually getting the numbers that you want to look at and say. Excuse me, everybody. All right. Now, what we'll want to do is go up here And I'm just going to scroll. Now to the far right, over here, some of you have already done this. We've got the street address. You do not have to put all this information in to start. You can do this and play around. It's going to save it to you. It's going to put it in your console. Choose features, financing, and all that. Upload bill and stuff. But let me go back up to here, and you can view an estimate. I've already saved this one, but there'll be a thing where you can click save this one, and we'll show you. But right now, what I want to do is I want to show you got the confirmation of the home that's confirmed, and make sure you know it's the right house. Okay, that's important. You can get on Google and you can click on it and you can look at it if you know people. If not, you can ask them. You can send them a screenshot. I'm gonna say, is this your house? If they're in your area, that's fine. But say they're across state lines, like I have a brother in Illinois and getting ready to do some stuff with him. Say, hey, is this going to be the right house or not? So just do a little education on your part on that end. Okay, now you can click save the profile. See, I've already done that, and now set the relationship to homeowner and click edit. You can click edit, and I'm just going to click on it. And so this is a primary residence, this is secondary residence, this is a rental properties, a condo, and stuff. But this is where you actually could you put in the relationship. This where you can type in their name information if you have all their stuff, and they are an actual customer for you. And you're playing around and learning a little bit of this. You can type in all the information, and then it will be saved in there. Then you can upload the bill. If you don't know how to do that, we can get to that. But I'm not going to go through that tonight. But you can always reach out to me, and I can explain a quick way to do that. But you can click in input and usage. And if you don't want to sit there and click those buttons, you can come right to this point once you've got the basic information started over in this area, and all through down here, you can click in here and you click edit, and you can actually, let's click it. You can actually see, you can actually come in and type it in. Okay, but I'm just going to cancel that because I've already got the 12. But if you know the kilowatt usage hours, instead of sitting there clicking and stuff, I messed with it. I go both different ways to show, but I wanted to show you the options that you did have with the other part with the banners. You can come in here and click it in here, like this one here. Yeah, it's at 16.9. The original was 14.79, but I know they had higher, so I'm just going to cancel that and click OK. And that's that's through step 5. Okay, now step 6 is choose the features. Let the system catch up since I canceled and stuff. It's got to readjust itself. And I hope everybody's enjoying this, and I hope I'm not confusing anybody right now.
If you are confused, hold it till next week. Speak now or hold it till next week.
Okay, now choosing your features. This is the racking and everything. See, there's 2 different areas that you can do the stuff with the banners to the right or go to the left or go to the right. This is where you can choose the different panels if you like. And I'm not worried about the thing. But now you have storage. You have your storage capabilities, which you saw, insufficient staging areas and all this. This is something that will actually come across more so with the installer and stuff, where they can come in and look at it and change it and kind of do that. But right now, you can see I've got the pure power box added and everything. So I'm just going to close this out because I don't need to deal with that. And then, of course, to choose the financing, you have the capabilities of that. To go in, you can change it to the 20 years and stuff like that. But we'll come up, and they showed this the other day and last week also, versus the cash plan, the loan plan, or the just utility, what they're actually looking at paying. And here it comes. Okay, and you have the capabilities of hitting, let it catch up. Doesn't want to do the cash plan. There we go. Okay, if they decide to do the cash plan, you can put the cash. If somebody wants to pay cash, you can go into the financing and click the arrows, and it will change it over to a cash plan, and you can get the customer that. Jeremy, I think Jeremy had one the other day from the show that he input like that. Okay. But I wanted to show you this custom financing and stuff like that. You have the capabilities of changing the months and stuff like that. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to close this, and I want to show you that you have the capabilities. Now, any notes you're doing, any information that the homeowner says the homeowner wants American made, you do it right here. Additional note. Put it in. Send the information. So those that are working on this on the other end of GEO Stellar will know. So you can say, well, I haven't uploaded the bill yet because I was just trying to get the customer, a PDF, some kind of PDF, and I'm trying to get the bill from them. But this way I can get them something to look at. And they go, oh, yeah, we're interested in this. I will send you my bill. Okay. And you just click on notes. And you just type in there, just like any old box, text box and stuff like that. So I wanted to show you all that, and so I'm just going to close it down. All right, now let me scroll back up to the top here. Don't want to lose you all too fast. So we're looking at 39 panels, 280 watts, 10.92K system, and they're looking at 87% of the electricity needs. And if we add the 8% for the pure power box, puts them at about 95. But if they get 16 out of it, then they're looking at 103%. This is something that we can work with down the road. They may want to pay. Well, I don't. I'll pay a little more. Let's add another panel and get them at 100%. You can work your system to 92% if you want, considering that roughly the pure power box is going to give you 8% as a minimum, I believe is what they've said. So if you want to do a system for the homeowner, but you need to keep in mind, let me scroll down here real slow. We get down here, is that may go up a little bit if you have another panel. Now, the other aspect is show the savings chart. You can bring this up, and this is where you can look. Their electric bill without solar is $195 a month. On the 12-year plan, they're looking at $246 a month. Okay, on their electric bill without solar, they're looking at $246 over 12 years. So the increase that they're going to look at, they're going to be paying $246. Well, if they're paying $230 right now for the solar, somewhere in this realm, right here, 221, about right there, they merge and meet, right around year 9 or 10, and they're paying. But they'll almost have the system paid off, and then they'll be looking at So right now, they come to the 12 years on the solar financing payments, $234, and then it drops down. Okay, 0 on year 13. And the combined monthly payments, we're still looking at $44 a year. But if the pure power box does the 8%, the minimum, that's going to reduce it down more. They might have an $8 meter fee, and they might have, maybe $10 for utility. They say, no, I want to get the 100%. So, okay, I can add another panel. I can add 2 more panels. We can get you at 103, plus the pure power box might put them at 110. That's fine. That is the owner's choice. That is where you become the advocate with you to be the customer advocate. You become the one that's helping them get to where they want to be, okay? And even on the factors of the financing is what you're looking for, okay? So now, as I've done already, let's go view the estimate. I'm going to click on that. And we'll let it pop up. There it goes. Let's hit in there. Somebody's typing on their keyboard. Here. All right. Here you go, everybody. Now, this is the area. This is the first proposal. And when I say that, the first proposal is because this is the one we just did. Utility is 88%, 10.92 kilowatts, 30 years of production, 12-year loan with 0 down. Now, when you scroll down, Make sure your information over here is correct, of course. And as you can see, customer information, I did Lane Johnson and stuff like that for this house. This is an actual home though. I just haven't done. This is where you can scroll down and see the solar profile settings and the summary of benefits, monthly household energy needs. And here's where we talked about the 16 kW and stuff like that, and this information here. And you come down, and then it's showing the panels, where the homeowner would actually be able to see the panels and the inverters and optimizers, racking, and they're not going to worry about that. Most of them are. Then we get down in here to the financing, and their estimated monthly loan payments $233, incentive loans 12. 12 and 23, $28, 12 years, 2.99% interest rate. And then it shows the difference between with the electric bill, 193 a month without solar, and then combined with solar, 258, they have a little bit still with the meter. And that's why you might want to get them up to 92% and then go from there as we see what happens. All right, so now we've got that, and it breaks it down, really break down. This is something the homeowner you can send the homeowner, and they'll be able to see all the cumulative savings, cost of solar electricity, and all that. And then, of course, after year 12, there's nothing. Okay. Now, what I wanted to show is you notice these little guys right here. You've got save and you've got print. You can come back up, and then you see it's after each stage you can save and print. What that does, and I'm going to scroll back up here so I don't lose some of y'all. What you can do is, as you saw with Alex and them showing this, you can click save and save this PDF. You can print it out if you want to go show it to the homeowner. You can click save if they're out of state or something you want to email it. If you can bring it before them, you have a better chance of explaining it to them. But by saving it, clicking save, you could then save it into a file for your customer. Make a folder for them. Build you a crew folder. Build you in your crew folder, do a subfolder, customers, and then click on that. And you can put in make a residential folder and a commercial folder. And you can then build a folder for your customers in residential, another subfolder. And then what you can do is you can put all the information for that customer there. Now, you might want to build the folders before you start doing all this, because hopefully you've got their bill, hopefully you've got any pictures or any other information, and you already have it loaded in there. So when you click on upload bill, you'll know exactly where it is in the folder, and you're not searching through your phone or send it to yourself in an email and you're not sure where it's at. Get organized and sit down and do all this in one factor before you begin all of this. I know everybody wants to get going and learning and doing stuff, but this is a factor that you need to do ahead of time. Do a little preparation, and it'll make everything go a lot smoother for you. And you can save that. Now, the reason I say you can save it is because you can then go back right here to Solar Profile. Once you've saved this with the 2.99, you can click on Solar Profile. And let's load it up. All right. What you can then do is say the customer says, well, I want to make sure I'm all the way. I'm 100%, or, 95%, because if your power box, they may not understand it, but that's something that you can help explain to them a little bit. And what then you can do is you can go back into here, into the energy savings or the energy, and you can then go in, you can change your panels. You could add one to it, you can lower it, you can also then come in and let's say the pricing has changed. Right now that's probably locked in because you got all the information from earlier that we did, but you can change the panels, you can add a couple of panels, but then you can also scroll down. We'll go past the extras, unless they want battery, and you can do one with a battery and one without and stuff like that. But what you want to do is you want to look at the financing, and you can click on this. Now, say the panels stay the same. We had them at 2.99, and for the 12 years, and I clicked it right here to move forward. Okay, it's at 4.99. And let me scroll up. I don't want to lose y'all, but you can also go in right here to choose your financing over here. And you click on it and change it in there also. Whichever works for you. I'm just happening to do this one right here to show everybody. And you can go on the other one, you might be able to change them a lot faster. But I just wanted to click and let you see some of the options right here in the window. I'll click it again. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get it to a 20-year plan. And I think it's 5.99 on 20-year plan. And I just want to slowly walk through this. And like I said, you can also go to the right side and probably change things a lot quicker. But I just want everybody to learn everything on it. Now it's pay cash. I'm just going to click through that. Okay, so now we have it at 20 years, 5.99 interest. Your down payment still zero. For 20 years, 5.99. Now I'm going to go back up and I'm going to look and see where the payments at. They're at $197 per month for 20 years. Okay, what did you have their monthly payment at? Average bill, $194. So if they decide they want to go with the 20-year plan, they're looking at spending $3 more a month plus maybe an $8 meter fee. Now, if they want to go a little closer to the 100%, it might raise that up. Their actual average bill may be $200 instead of $194. It may be a little lower. That's where if you've got the bill, you have the availability to deal with this. Now, I'm going to slowly scroll back up over here. And then you'll be able to look at view the estimate since we've changed this. Okay, so now we've got this. This is still a 10.92K system. It's got 88% still. We didn't change it yet, but this is where you can get in here and change some things and follow. And I am recording this, so I'll try and get it up on my YouTube stuff, and I'll send it out to anybody that wants this. I'll send the email out. Okay, monthly household usage is 13%. Difference right here. Your power box takes care of 8% of that. Let's still have a little percentage on their end. And as we get the pure power boxes going in at some of the jobs, we begin to learn some of them. I don't have it on my place yet. I have the temporary one. As some of you know, when I got my solar panels, we didn't have the option of it at that time. And it's still showing the 39 panels for 280s. And so not much has changed except where we get down here to the financing and stuff. 20 years, 5.99, 196 estimated loan payments from right here. And then you have the graph with it, that's available right there. If you're sitting in front of the customer, you can show them this stuff. And you can see right here, that electric bill right there, when you go 30 years out, they're looking at $350 a month on their electric bill in this area, like where I'm at in this area. So it's a big change. They might not understand right now we're sitting, which most of them don't like their bills and stuff. But when you show them that graph, say, look, they average 2.9%. And they're like, wow. But what I say this for, and let's go back to the top up here, you can do it anywhere along this line, but you can click right here, save, and then you could save this PDF. So now you have two of them, or you can print it out, this other one, or you can take both of these proposals to them. You can do the more panels if you want. You can do it at the less panels to show the possibility of the pure power box. They can do the 2.99 for 12 years. And financing like that, 2.99 is a slow rate. Usually you're going to pay a little more because it's less years. Now the 20 years, 5.99, to pay a little more interest rate. It's more around what their average is, and they may want to jump on that. Now, how it's going to work all the way across the nation in different areas, I can't tell you. I'm not sure. I know I'm finding out some things a little different here and stuff like that, even with 20 years. But that's something that we've got to try and work through. And that's why I say, get the bills, do a little education, do a little studying, find out what the actual fees are. Maybe the actual cents is wrong. Like I know, I was telling you about 7 to 8 cents, but then you add in the fuel charges and stuff like that. It may be that the cost is wrong. The actual energy cost is 7 to 8 cents, but with all the fees and everything, it actually works out to 12 to almost 13 cents. Okay, and that's where your little where your information needs to go. All right, everybody. What I'm going to do right now is I am going to stop the share, and I am going to stop the recording.